Hello, RVMS staff. I hope you're having a wonderful end to your summer and that you'll be nice and refreshed when you return to school in a couple of days. I wanted to share this presentation with you now so that you can view it at your leisure and we can have conversations about this during day 2 of our in-service. While you're watching, please think about and maybe even jot down some ideas of how you will incorporate these resources in your classroom this school year. So let's go ahead and get started. First, let's talk about the purpose and goals of this presentation. As we discussed at the end of last year, we are working toward taking the necessary steps to changing our instruction and to incorporate technology effectively and in a way that maximizes learning. This presentation is step 1 of that process. The purpose is pretty simple. I'd like to share with you some resources that I consider valuable and beneficial for you and our students. I also thought it would be nice to create and share this with you through Screencast-O-Matic so that you can pause, rewind, view at your own pace, and come back to it as many times as needed throughout the school year. Our goals are as follows. Simply explore these web resources with an open mind and become familiar with what they have to offer. Incorporate one of them by the end of the first quarter, incorporate the other by the end of the second quarter, and commit to trying out the flipped classroom concept either third or fourth quarter of this year. We are all here for one reason, and that is for our kids. Doing what's best for our students is priority number 1. So I'm very eager to hear how you can incorporate these web resources this year and hopefully even share some new resources and ideas with me as well. So our first web resource is LearnZillion. So first I want to talk about what service this provides. LearnZillion is a cloud-based Common Core curriculum resource that is created by teachers for teachers. You can access lessons that address specific standards in math and language arts. Teachers of other content areas can still search the site and pull from lessons that may apply to your content. So let's go to the site and check it out before we talk about how you can use it and why you should use it. So if you click this link, you can access the site. So this is their homepage, and I've already created an account, so I'm going to log in, but you all can sign up for free using your school account. Okay, so now that I'm logged in, you can see that you can browse topics in math and you can browse topics in English language arts, and they have some videos for you to look at and that kind of thing. Also, you can create classes. So I have already, just for sharing purposes, I've already created some classes and I wanted to show that to you. You can add students to these classes, which I've done here, and it will simply share, you can share this enrollment code with them and they can add the class that way. This will make it easy. I wish it was linked to Google Classroom. It's not. Hopefully it will be in the future, but at least you can still enroll your specific students. They all have a specific enrollment code so that they can enroll and you can push out assignments to them just by clicking Quick Assign on any of the lesson pages. So since my background is in language arts, I'm going to explore that site for you for the purposes of sharing. So let's say I'm interested in finding something about writing. And I know that I'm working with argumentative writing. You can explore some of those resources here. They have informational writing, they have narrative writing, opinion writing, persuasive writing, that kind of thing. So they have a lot of different options here that you can explore. Bear with you. I'm going to click the match the body of a paragraph to the introduction. And you'll see when you click on it that it takes you to a lesson plan. You can click on additional materials. You can learn about the lesson as well. But the thing that I think is really cool is that all of the lessons start with a video. So I'm just going to push play so that you can see kind of what their videos sound and look like.
Writers use an introduction to organize the ideas that follow. Let's practice organizing the ideas within a paragraph according to the paragraph's introduction. Please have your LearnZillion practice sheet in front of you. You will need it during the lesson.
So just there they referenced their practice sheet, and if you go to additional materials and you click on student practice sheet, you'll see that there is a printable document for you to share with students, and it has stopping points throughout this video that asks them to work with the text and to answer specific questions. It also provides you, the teacher, with an answer key. So I just wanted to show you where you could find that material. We'll continue with the video just briefly. I'm not going to show the whole thing.
An introduction is a brief preview of your writing, like a movie preview. An introduction to an essay might be a whole paragraph, but each paragraph needs an introduction too. If you preview something in your introduction, you want to make sure you actually discuss those ideas in the body. Don't confuse your reader with complete surprises that you didn't discuss in the introduction, and don't disappoint the reader by including things in your introduction that don't even appear in the text. Here's an example. If I have written an introduction to a paragraph that says, "Dessert is traditionally served at the end of a meal. Ice cream is a traditional after-dinner dessert," a reader would expect the body of the paragraph to be about ice cream, and according to that introduction, the paragraph should be about ice cream. Now, if I write that same introduction, but then most of my paragraph is actually about popcorn, well, that's a problem. Readers are going to get really confused, and they're going to be looking for that ice cream.
So as you can see, the videos are really cool, and they're about 10 minutes or so in length. I like in their teaching notes here, it says that you can play this video during the lesson, or you can have students watch it before class. So going back to my presentation here, I feel like this is a great first step toward blended learning. And in the flipped classroom concept as well, where we've discussed with the flipped classroom, you would push out videos to your students and they would be getting the instruction at home, and you would be doing the practice with them in class rather than the reverse idea that we're so used to. And I think that this is a great step toward that. It eliminates you having to video yourself or to search the web to try and find videos that work. It's all right there for you, and it allows you to avoid reinventing the wheel, because why reinvent the wheel? If there are great lessons out here that work for you and for your students, I would definitely encourage you to use those. So again, teachers can add students, they can assign lessons, they can integrate blended learning this way, and they can teach the required standards. So there is a whole lot of information there. And again, you can look through math, and you can see all the different subject areas within math that they have. And all of these come with a video to support as well. So it's a great resource. And again, if I'm looking at algebra here and I want to push this first assignment out, I can just click this quick assign button and push this assignment out to my classes. So I think that's a great option to have. I can just click assign students and click to those classes. So it's very convenient and easy for teachers to use. So this resource is so beneficial for teachers and students. So I do view it as a great first step to dip your toes into the ocean that is blended learning. And I know that the idea of the face of education completely changing can be terrifying, but it's a great easy step toward that transition. Okay, so on to our next resource, which is Curiosity. So again, what service does Curiosity provide? Curiosity is a website that has thousands of educational content videos and short articles. You can browse various subjects, including the core subjects like language arts and math that LearnZillion provides. But you can also find videos and material for art, food, languages, medicine, design, and more. So let's check out this website and talk about how you can use it and why you should use it. So what I've discovered with this website is that you can sign up and you can create an account. I have not even done that though. I've been able just to explore things just through their free material here, which, as you can see, there is a whole lot to offer. So how can you use this? I can imagine teachers using this tool in a variety of ways. Bell ringers led by the teacher, bell ringers led by the students, flipped classroom teaching by assigning some of these videos to be watched by students at home and then discussing in depth in class the next day. Or even just as a fun brain break. Students could even be challenged to create their own curiosity video, which could incorporate other content areas, and post the video on YouTube to share with you and the rest of the class. I think that the opportunities are endless here with this seemingly simple resource. So surprise me and surprise yourself. I'll just kind of show you what I would browse through literature here. And again, here we have something very relevant to our students with social media, but still connected to content. The verb unfriended is way older than Facebook. So we have here kind of a brief article about it, and you can click to explore more, or you can just watch the video.
Words that are older than they seem. Every generation likes to think it invented slang anew, but often the latest words are actually very old. Here are some words that are much older than they seem. Does out of sight bring to mind a 60s hippie? Instead, imagine a Victorian chap in a waistcoat and top hat. The earliest citations for out of sight come from the 1890s.
So again, I don't want to show the whole video, but you can get the idea here that you can browse, again, any topic. So we can look at food if you're a home ec teacher, and you can discover and just scroll through and see all of the different possibilities here that you could explore and share with your students. So how can you use it? We've discussed that. Whoops, I went back. Here we go. How can you use it? So we discussed that, it can be an extension tool to enhance standards, incorporate technology, and even blended learning again. So why should you use it? As educators, we are always trying to do our best to make content fun and exciting, interesting, and different for our kids. This is a really easy tool to help you do that. Kids love watching videos, so what could be better than videos that can help deliver content in a fun and exciting way? Plus, like LearnZillion, it could be a great first step toward incorporated blending learning into your classroom. So what's next? We will have plenty of time for conversation and collaboration regarding this presentation on day 2 of our in-service this week. I can't wait to hear about all of your creative ideas with these web resources. I also can't wait to see what you will come up with when given time to collaborate with one another in the same content area and also for cross-curricular connections. So I realize that change can be scary to some. So if your natural inclination is to stick with the status quo and therefore change intimidates you, I hope you can keep our #1 goal in mind, which is always the kids and doing what's best for kids. The world is changing and education must change with it. We want to move toward the type of education our students need now rather than the type of education we feel more comfortable facilitating. So I also wanted to add here my Creative Commons license link. So if you're curious, you can look at that and you can see how this presentation is allowed to be shared and the sharing terms and limits there. So again, I'm very much looking forward to seeing all of you in just a couple of days. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Bye, guys.